B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, J, A, L, B, Q, Y, S, C, O, P, 7, X, and S, E. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing the
Yay!
With the flyest things, it talks to the heavens and the clouds while the skies sing. It's just a beautiful melody, words full of harmony, symphony, battle each other. Man, is you feeling me? It's you and I to the verse, and this ship shall proceed to leave Earth. Before we blast off, get a moment to speak. Put my 2 fingers out, then I split. We go from Earth to Mars, when we travel on tour. Kick in the door, the flow, we can't stop. It's one reason that we do this for. It's for the hip-hop, hip-hop. I said I take you places you never been. Riding our spaceship, yes, we'll go high. Up and cloud away from sin, and we'll stay fly.
In late 2006, the hip-hop duo U&I and producer Ro Blvd began working on a project entitled A Love Supreme. It started out as a 1-song collaboration and morphed into an album that symbolized the new culture of Los Angeles hip-hop as well as the music industry as a whole. With a groundbreaking marketing scheme and a huge creative team supporting them, these 3 young men created a project that reached hundreds of thousands of people without a major label record deal.
Love Supreme, Ro Blvd. I think he's to your right. That's the man. That's the man. That literally, that is the man. And hold your chick tight. That man is crazy.
So the Love Supreme project's real low key though. No one's even.
It's like we've been recording in a dungeon, man. Nobody knows about it. Everybody keeps asking, "What's next? What's next?" Like, you'll see. All we keep saying is Love Supreme, Ro Blvd.
What can you say about it? If anything.
This is what I say. I don't even say any words. This is Earth. This little circle right here is Earth, right? Love Supreme. This is way over there. That's it. That's my description.
Is how would I describe it? Have to agree with that man.
After they collaborated on the track entitled Supreme in late 2007, they planned on making a short 7-song EP soon after.
Love Supreme was supposed to be 7 tracks, but we just kept on recording more, and it kind of lengthened up our workload, and then we just ended up with, like, you know, 7 tracks and 10 tracks and 13, and we thought we'd stop, and then we have like 16, you know.
We knocked out like 7 tracks, and it was just amazing. The music was just all amazing. The vibe every time we went to the studio was just very creative, and every song sounded different. And we just got to the point, like, when we were done, it was like, damn, this is it. It just felt like we was cutting ourselves short, so we was like, let's extend it.
The entire Love Supreme project was inspired by the sample Ro Blvd used on Supreme.
The thing about the Supreme song, that was actually the birth of, hey, let's do Love Supreme. The reason being, because when I did the beat, I thought it was just like whatever. Truthfully, like truth be told, I thought it was whatever. And on a little more insight on that shit, that beat wasn't even tracked out. It was just straight off my MP because I thought it was whatever. So I just fucking, all right, let me just play the recording, 2-track, and that's it.
The tracking out process consists of a producer extracting each instrument and sound in a particular track. This allows the song to be properly mastered when the engineer is adjusting the sound levels.
I saw my Floetry acapella, The Superstar, on the floor. Took that shit out, put it on, listened to the common verse, just to listen to acapella, and he said, dreaming of a love supreme, either thinking or dreaming, like dreaming of a love supreme. I was like, oh, that shit sound dope.
My man said heaven is a day away. If in the present you're loving in a braver way, I wear the aura of a king and dream of a love supreme. As a child I was told that my love is king.
And then I hit these guys up and I'm like, oh, when are we gonna do a song together? When are we gonna do our next song? They're like, oh, we'll come through the studio. I'm like, all right. And we're going through beats and I just said, okay, why not just play this one? I thought it was whatever, but fuck it, it was worth a shot. Play that shit. They're like, you know, their reaction to the beats isn't like, oh shit, we gotta do this, woo! It's more like, all right, let me go in the booth. So we recorded that shit, and it ended up being that's what happened with Supreme. And then after the feeling that we got after we did the song, we looked at each other like, damn, it was really that easy.
Yeah,
like really that easy. We looked at each other and like, why don't we just do that project? And then, you know, hence. We called it Love Supreme because it was just like dreaming of a love supreme, the sound.
Supreme was released in April of 2008 to the media. The duo got such a positive response to the track that they performed the song during their live performances promoting their debut album, Fried Chicken and Watermelon.
But it wasn't until we was in New York the first time. We was opening up for the Clips. And after I finished beatboxing and doing my thing, it was freestyling. I got off stage and I went to the side and they went into Love Supreme, the song called Love Supreme. And when that mark came on, it was just, it was so belligerent. I said, oh my, wow.
I had to clean my ass in class. I used to be that kid that played and recess with all types of ass. Now it seems I can't keep these groupies off me. Close your eyes and just imagine yourself in my shoes in the fresher time. A G-Shock watch, color you probably seen. A model for a lady, couple spreads in a magazine. They say I come up cocky, it's just a confidence thing. How I shine brighter than you, spit the G on juice. Slash a nigga trying to show off his earrings. I ain't in the blizzard, don't make this ain't. The lines up on my chest on some tennis shoe chisang. Rest in peace, this my name in the grave. Got my mojo back, baby, Opie, hey.
The praise came at a time in which both Thurs and YO had honed their skills in their live performance shows. The duo would go on to open for some of the most popular acts in hip-hop as they were in the process of recording A Love Supreme.
Well, we've been performing together since '99, so we have this chemistry that started, you know, back at our first high school talent show. Like, when we first started, it was nothing like what you see of now. Like, we was kind of like, I was nervous. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know how to, like, interact with the crowd. I was just rapping and pacing back and forth around the stage, and then that's it. And then, you know, after I recorded myself and watched it, like, yo, that shit sucks. Just pacing back and forth, the crowd is just sitting there looking at you. I'm like, how can I make myself better? And I can remember in my basement back at home when I used to live off La Brea, I had this mirror and I was just like looking myself in the mirror and just rap and just see how I would move. I would like practice certain moves that I always had and just, you know, just make it better and better. So I know I feed off of music first. Like when I hear the music that we created, I just put myself back in the time when we were in the booth when we created it, and I just get a big adrenaline rush. And when that music comes on, I just turn into someone else. Like everyone says that, like when they talk to me, they're like, man, you're so cool, but when you perform, you just turn into a fucking beast. Like, where does all that energy come from? So I mean, it comes from the music first, and then I see people, their faces, smiles, and I hear them recite. It's just all this adrenaline rush, and it just gets me excited. And then I feel like I can interact. And then you see in the video, we just fucking jump off the stage and just turn the shit into a party. That's what music is to me, where people have fun And they could just go home and with smiles on their face and just talk about what you and I did, how they jumped off the stage. Like nobody that whole night jumped off the stage. Like that'd be something they can leave and go back and tell their moms like, yo, these cats was live and turned into a party, they jumped off the stage.
You never know who's in the crowd or who's gonna take something from that show and is gonna remember and become a lifetime fan. So we always feel like we owe it to whoever's in the crowd to just go all out, no matter the circumstances, and you know, show why we're getting our name dropped like on every side, and you know why people are talking about our music. So.
And what was that show at the Firecracker? We had like
five people.
Five or four people. And we walked in like, oh gosh. And we did the launch. Yeah. And we just went all out like it was a fucking stadium. Yeah. So like you said, no matter what, we're always just gonna give our best, man. No matter what, because like you said, you never know who may be in the corner dressed in all black. You never know who's there. So always go hard.
Got booked for a show through MySpace.
Fuck up number 2 on MySpace through this thing.
And it's like a small crowd. We might be rocking for like 10 people.
Yo, check this out. Every show I'm excited, right? We get in here. We know we performing upstairs. We walking upstairs. There's only one motherfucker up there. And that's the motherfucker recording me right now, Tomas. And the bartender. That's it. We about to do this shit right here on this building.
Open language, no hot play, my nigga. Please come and get it.
Let's go. Hey man, all I gotta say, this is where it starts, man. We had literally about, I could say about less than 20 people scattered around in this one room, but we really had about 5 people in front of us. This is where it starts, man. This is for the love of music, man.
Hey man, like even if it's just one person, I want that one person to go back home and be like, yo, you and I Cats Kids rock it. I said Cats Kids. Yeah. You and I Cats rock it.
We got you, man.
Yeah, man, we just want to go hard every time we on stage, give somebody a memorable performance, and shit, ain't whether it's 5 people or 5,000 people, we gonna go hard. It's whatever, you know.
So when it's all said and done, you weren't let down by tonight?
We weren't let down. You know, we had higher expectations, but you know, we got love, so we made some new fans. So I guess it's worth it. You know.
Exactly. We made 5 new fans, and those 5 new fans can tell another 5 more people, and so on from them other 5 people. So it's just gonna build and build and build. Man, like you said, if it's 5 to 5,000, we're gonna go hard. Always.
It was through a mutual friend that the duo met with the producer.
It was a picnic for 4th of July, I believe. My homegirl Chastity, we was talking about music. She's like, yo man, I know this Filipino cat. He got some crazy
With a Gumby.
Some crazy soul 80s type stuff, and I think it'll really mess with what you guys are doing. I was like, man, we down to work, man, so let's link up. So she gave me his number and his name, and I was just like attacking his phone, like hitting him up, like, yo man, let's meet up. And he was trying to play me off. He was giving me the cold show.
Hell no, that's not what happened. Hell no, that's not happened. I'll tell you what happened.
And then we finally met up. And out.
The internet right there off of what, Sunset?
Sunset, yeah.
Next to Holla High? Yeah.
And we just played him some records, and he played us his
We went to the Camry, right?
Yeah, we went to my Camry. I played him, played on my stuff, and then we went to the Acura, and they played me their stuff, and I just sat there. I'm like, okay, how can we make this shit work? Next thing you know, like a week later, they just met up at my place and fucking just started creating. I think we made the launch. We made the launch. Yep. Off of the first track off Friday Take 'Em All. I'm gonna go buy that shit because I get some money off of that too.
The duo met at St. Bernard's High School during Wyo's freshman year. Thursday was a sophomore at the time, and they became a part of the 4-man crew, the Rapture Camp.
We had the chemistry because we both played basketball, and then we kind of like met during lunchtime when it was cypher battles. So it's like, okay, you're into music too, so we was killing upperclassmen, talk around the campus. It was Thursday in Wyo, they're killing these cats. So we was like, why not, let's do a talent show. So we did a talent show, and it kind of just stuck together. We just stuck together since '99. We put out a couple mixtapes with the other 2 members. We was in a 4-man group called Raptor Camp, and we branched out in '06 and started U&I.
Thurs came up with the name while he was listening to one of his favorite albums.
This is derived from the roots of the Death Pathway. There's a song in there, U&I vs. That War, featuring Common. And I just like, I love that record, I love that album. And when we had broke out of our group, and we started the duo thing, we were just trying to come up with names. And then like I was playing that album again, like, cause I always play like, you know, whether it's 1 time a month or, I don't know, it always comes back into rotation in my car. And then U&I vs. That War came on, and I was like, damn, U&I, that'd be a dope name.
Yeah, he called me
I hit him
up. He called me up and I like sat on it. And I was like, damn, it flows like U&I. Like people say that every day. That'd be said every day. So
Blvd is like the first person statement for the Ohio. U&I versus any opposition, versus anybody at war, just trying to, you know, make a name for ourselves. And we know we come into a lot of obstacles, and it's basically war to succeed. So I think the name applies perfect.
You guys have any goofy rap names like before you came with like your final names? 'Cause I know everybody has like that rap name they think.
Damn.
yeah, woo! I'm not gonna say his. I'll let him tell you what his name used to be.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that shit up, man.
My name, that was whack.
Yeah, my shit was whack too.
What was my name, man?
You the YMC, yeah?
What?
Oh, word?
Oh.
So he goes, see how I wouldn't say his name, but he want to say my name.
Was it?
Catastrophic was his. I'm not gonna tell you why it was YMC, but I can't even tell you why. I don't know what
That is strong. That's worse than YMC.
And I remember somebody tried to...
That's worse than YMC.
So the little crew they was in, they was performing on the same show circuit that me and my homie was performing on the Empire thing. So we was performing at all the little chicken circuit stuff around LA, you know what I'm saying, the Good Herd, Goblin, whatever, the Joint, all type of stuff. And I would always check their show out. And they was always checking my show out, but you know, that's how cats just got to know each other. And I would always tell them, like, you know, and it was everybody else was kind of telling them the same thing too, but I was just one of them cats too that was like, man, y'all, all of y'all cool, but y'all too, need to, you know, y'all need to go ahead and make a group of yourself, you know what I'm saying?
My first encounter with U&I was over email, because who we were doing the show with at Zombie Radio was with Eric E-Dub and Tony Price Costa. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna get these guys U&I on, you know, yada, yada, yada. So I sent them an email like, hi, you know, can you send me 3 of your music tracks, blah, 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 blah.
I like the music. I think it's original. I don't think it's cookie cutter. So here's what my biggest fear is for you guys. And then I want you guys to tell me how you're gonna make sure that I can sleep well at night. The hip-hop game is a tough game. It's a rough game. What are you guys doing to make sure that this talent isn't wasted? You know what I mean? Especially while you guys are young and fun and exciting before the game makes you jaded and bitter, like other artists that have been on the Zombie Radio show who are getting old, and it's not gonna happen. What's the plan? What's the plan to make sure that U&I is a household name and not just something that when I bump into you 15 years from now in the Fox Hills Mall, that we don't both have that moment of death.
Yeah. Instead of paper.
You know what I mean? Where I'm like, just didn't cut it for you. You know, you're like, yeah, I'm over here at Geico.
Save me 15% more, nigga.
I'm over here. I'm selling these policies. So how do we not get there, guys?
See, we don't get there because we're not the. I would say that we're not the regular artist trying to get the, I guess, basic record deal where, you know, you sign in as an artist to a label. That's not our, you know, our entire motive. We don't want to just be slaves on a label. So.
And you know, they got a lot of energy in the studio, and I like the way they write songs a lot. You know, they don't just, you know, they don't stick to like 16-bar rap verse, hook, whatever. Like they're more than just hip hop artists or rappers. You know what I mean?
I don't really hear a lot of bullshit in their music. Like anything that they're rapping about, like that's some shit that they've thought about and that they've experienced, and they're just putting it out. Like whether it's some fun party stuff or some trash talking stuff, whatever it is, it's like that's really them. You're really listening to you and I, as opposed to a lot of other music that I listen to, and not just in hip hop, but it's just, you know, fabricated stuff.
I think those dudes are like the epitome of being an individual. Like they're their own individual. Like you have Thurs, who you'll play him a beat and he'll just sit quiet and just be kind of like processing stuff through his head, like, and you don't know what he's thinking about, you know what I mean? And I don't know, like I don't know how to, at first I didn't know how to take it, like, yo, does he think it's whack? And like he'll just say, yeah, that's cool, and like he'll just be thinking. But in a retrospect, like the guy is like, he's personalizing the beat, like he's, you know what I mean, like seeing himself on the beat, what it could become. Like he's seeing like a bigger picture, not just, you know, taking it as is. Like he's like really coming up with some crazy stuff in his mind. But you don't realize it until after the record is done and he said what he had to say. Then it's like, okay, this guy right here. Then on the other hand, you have YO, who acts on impulse. Like he'll hear a record and be like, oh, like, let's make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, just wild out. Like, and it's like you have two different people. You know what I'm saying? But when they come together, it's like inevitable. You know what I mean? And they have like a universal, like they name fits perfect. You know what I mean? You and I verse, like the dudes, they have like a universal appeal, I feel. You know what I mean? Like they can cater to any and everybody. You know what I mean? Like you can't just put them in one category and say that's it. You have to put them over here. You know what I mean? Like you get everything. You get everything with those guys. You can't just cut them off. Like the sky is truly the limit with them. And now I'm not just saying that. Like that's the first thought that ran through my mind when I first heard them record. Like these dudes are something different.
You try to get Jeff back.
I'm getting these motherfuckers back.
Nah, not me.
Both of y'all.
What I do?
You the cameraman.
So what?
He was the narrator. Y'all was both narrators.
I wasn't the narrator. I just sat in the driver's seat.
Y'all was both narrating.
It was out of reach.
They was both narrating.
I'm gonna fight while I for the camera.
They
Break
both
my camera.
are gonna get fucked up. These. We went to Vegas. We was having fun, you know, had little drinks and.
He had a little too much to drink.
Yo, YO, come here. These niggas right here, you and I, these niggas been going at it for about 2 months. Thurs says he could outdrink YO. YO says he could outdrink Thurs. It's going down tonight. Look at the cut. Hey, it's stink over here, huh? Oh, I got my money on YO. Oh, for real? Say for real. Smell over there. Yo. You gonna beat this nigga Thurs, huh, YO?
It's not even competition, nigga. This nigga can't outdrink you.
Oh, that nigga disrespecting you. He threw the tissue at you.
I don't let no bullshit like that stop me, nigga. I'm not an excuser. Watch what this nigga say right now.
Excuse me? Nigga? Who outdrank who the last time, nigga? This nigga was throwing up blood and shit. Like a little bitch. Like a little pussy. Like a little pussy. Like a little pussy.
You got my kicks on camera.
And you know, I fell asleep in the back seat.
He was knocked out.
And I could not feel my face.
Completely knocked out.
And these motherfuckers.
I was in the passenger seat, and our homegirl B was in the back seat, and she thought it would be a clever idea.
Alright, Brittany's about to fuck it. Just draw all over that nigga face.
You don't do that to a man while he can't feel his face. What kind of shit is that?
So he had it on his face for half of that.
He had this Europe across his face.
He had red cheeks.
Loser. Yeah, loser. top. Yeah, you're right here on the
And then they put pound signs on my eyelid.
I just completely threw the camera down and ran out the car. I was busting out for like 10 minutes straight.
For half an hour, and he didn't notice, so he went upstairs to the bathroom. You heard all you hear was walk in the bathroom, and then you hear
As a two-man crew, they completed their first project, Fried Chicken and Watermelon. The album was released independently.
They came over to the studio back when we was in Pomona, and they recorded a song. You know, I was looking at them at first like, these dudes is different. One had a mohawk. I'm like, all right, you know, if this is what it is, that's cool, you know. And as I was listening to the song as they were recording, I'm like, yo, these dudes is different. Like, these dudes is, they cool. And like a couple months went by, and I heard about this street album that they was putting out called Fried Chicken and Watermelon. And they was Chris hit me like, yeah, man, you know, they put one of your beats on there. This and that. They did a song on one of your beats, So Hot. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And then I heard it and I was like, okay, that's different. And that beat was like my big, I love that beat. Like, I remember when I made it, I listened to it all day, like literally. And when I heard what they did to it, I was like, yo, this is different. But this is like, that's what I was looking for, like that golden essence.
My homegirl's the inspiration for the Fat Girls record. She probably not gonna like me telling this story, but it's a funny ass story. So they met us at the studio, and somebody was talking about they was hungry or something. And she was like, you know, well, shit, I go get something to eat, you know what I'm saying? What everybody want. You know, go In-N-Out or something, you know what I'm saying? And she like, yeah, I go to In-N-Out. We're like, In-N-Out's kind of far, you know? And she like, yeah, I go to In-N-Out. Here, I go. So she go to In-N-Out, come back with big burgers and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just burgers galore, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, everybody eating the burgers, it's all good. We do You Ain't Up in this, it's all popping. Next thing you know, you listen to the record.
Me and my man Thursday went to the studio one time, right, and this big girl just offered us some In-N-Out burgers. So I'm like, damn, these fat girls need love. This for them girls that's eating chicken in the middle of the night. You eat it. You eating cornbread with Kool-Aid in the middle of the night. You eat it, baby. We don't care what you do. Keep that weight, baby. Fat girls, you and I.
Hey fat girl, come here, are you ticklish? I know the mother skinny cat's so ridiculous.
And she ain't mad, whatever, she ain't like that, you know, she know they're just joking. But you just tell, that's where they got the whole damn song from, like, alright, we about to really do this song, Fat Girls. They might have had like a couple rhymes in their head before then, but it was just like, oh yeah, we about to really do this now, like. And you know, the song is funny, it's a classic record. Recently was at Roscoe's after one of their shows. She was like, oh, y'all gonna shoot a video, and blah, 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 and whatever. And he was like, nah, I'm cool, we ain't gonna shoot the video. But nah, it was funny. It was funny to me all day, so.
Off the Fried Chicken Watermelon Street album, our homeboy DiBiase flipped Castlevania, and we made a record off of that.
I seen them perform at Pasadena maybe months before that with Pat Div. But they was on the bill of this one show, and then when I rocked with the homies, they Serato had fucked up. So I had to do that whole set for them off the MP. And I played like the Castlevania beat last, and my homies were freestyling off of it. And then like the end of the show Thursday, and it was like, damn, that was some crazy shit. What's up with that? I got their math. They was like, yeah, I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow, man, Thursday, YO. I'm like, I hear this all the time. Like, yeah, I'll get at you tomorrow. Or it might be like 2 weeks later. They hit me back, both of them. Like, man. I'm like, okay. Then we just before we even made music, just went hooping and shit on some regular shit.
This rap be the code of life. It's like up, down, A, B, left, right. This rap, we on the job. Beat like, oh my God. I hit him with a sonic boom. Just feed me a couple mushrooms and you see I get a little bit taller. All you can with the pen type that you cannot defeat. I punch much harder. Sucker, who you think you're dealing with, young? How you're not your average, I killed you. A contra gun that'll melt you. The mic is a sword, this a game of Zelda.
After shooting a video for their lead single Cream with video director Tomas Whitmore, the duo approached him about shooting their second single, Beautiful Day.
I had hooked up with Thurs because we actually went to school together, and kind of got them to believe that I could actually direct their videos.
They're so good,
just a beautiful day.
They're so good,
it's just a beautiful day.
Just pump it up and just vibe.
It was difficult to I think get them to rehearse it. I think they kind of were just like, oh, it's cool, like we'll do it, like it's cool. And trying to like get them to realize like, no, like let's sit down right now and like we're gonna film you and I want you to see how bad it's gonna look if you don't practice.
Radiant like LA sunshine, so let's crack the hen, no coke in mine. Live for today, ain't promised life. Roll with the windows down, breathe the night as the sun sets and the morning breaks. Just thank God you was able to wake.
The choreographing of it all, like with such a small amount of people to help direct like all the action, to be able to kind of orchestrate it all, it took us so long to have to manage all the people that were there.
Don't front, you know I got you open, check the dialect from the diaphragm, my man. Put your glasses up, you can roll it up, you can drink to this, you can smoke to this, you can roll to this, put your windows down and bump the sound through any hood if it.
The old man sitting in the chair who's asleep and like gets hit with a water balloon, that's why I was uncle. So he lives on that street and he was basically the one that was like, yeah, just like come film here, like no problem, like I'll talk to these neighbors, I'll talk to them. What do you need? You need TV? You need this chair? Like, come on, I'll give it to you.
So I'm off to the sunshine, never waste days like this. Take advantage of the one lie. Keep your faith in the sky. Why? That's where the heaven is. Right. That's where the dream is. Well, ain't it?
Put your glasses up, you can roll it up, you can drink to this, you can smoke to this.
Once we finally finished it and we put it, you know, out on the internet and it finally started getting some play on TV, like we were just thrilled to see how people responded to it. That felt really good to see people kind of be like, wow, that's cool. Like, oh, how did they do that? What was that? You know? I've never seen it on TV. Like, I don't watch TV. All I saw was I saw like a YouTube clip of it, and that was cool. That was really cool. Like it was exciting to like my friend Jay who shot it and edited that video. He had TiVo'd it in like the morning of, like I think it like aired at like 3 a.m. He like TiVo'd it and took a picture of the screen and sent it to us, and that was cool. Like it was cool to see that, you know, we had made this video for $800, and then it's on MTV, and like, you know, that was a huge step for them and for myself. You know, it was cool.
Thursday, whose real name is Yannick Kofi, was born and raised in Inglewood, California. His mother is Belizean and his biological father is from the Ivory Coast in Africa, but his stepfather is also from Belize.
Well, man, my family's from Belize, so, you know, it's a household of reggae and dance all day. And then my brother came through with some Wu-Tang and some Biggie, and then Red Band, put in that Muddy Waters, and I was like, oh shit. I was just like playing that tape cassette religiously. And like my brother put me onto like a whole bunch of East Coast music. Redman stood out because of his like content and like the humor and wittiness in his like lyrics.
So we used to go back and forth over the phone because of that.
Oh yeah, at
high school, like, did you hear what he said?
Yeah. Black Star, Most Talib. Shout out to Talib too. He did that record with us on the mixtape. De La Soul, Plaza Noose, one of my favorite rappers. Top 5 for me.
Nice.
The Fugees, Biggie. You know, my brother put me on a whole bunch of East Coast music coming up. Wu-Tang.
Shortly after graduating from St. Bernard's High School, Thurs attended the prestigious Loyola Marymount University. After graduating with a degree in business, he obtained a job as a statistics analyst for an actuary firm.
I was in Access all day, Excel, doing the same old boring statistical analyst bullshit. So he finds a Billboard magazine, comes across the page. I mean, you know, I'm covering half my face in the picture, but somehow he like, Yannick, is this you? I'm like, oh, damn. And I didn't want to lie. I was like, yeah, it's me. He's like, what do you do? I was like, I'm a hip-hop artist. I do music. He's like, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you invite us to a show? So yeah, he ended up telling the whole office what I did. So they all would be on my MySpace and like figuring out when I had shows. So I couldn't lie anymore. Like I used to call in.
What you used to tell your job.
I was like, yo, Jason, I got diarrhea, dog. I can't come in.
He would say that every show. Like, dude,
not every show.
Nah, dude.
So they monitoring all my activity, and they start sending me Excel sheets saying, yo, you've been on the internet for this long. And it would be like days I was on like the whole work day. And then like I wouldn't complete some projects, so you know my productivity decreased a little bit. Y'all motherfuckers fired me. You lost a good worker.
Thurs is like a fucking studio rat. Like, even if we would come in here to listen to beats for like 20 minutes, he would fucking drive from an hour away just to be here. Like Thurs has like this fucking drive, and I mean he's just real dedicated, and you know he's all about the project, which is dope. You know.
He's got a lot of important shit to say. You know that it's starting to come through in his music, but I think people are gonna be impressed with what he's saying, because he's saying some really amazing shit. Sometimes it just blows me away.
There's his daughter, you know, it's the cutest baby in the world. Their relationship is like this.
Right, we can.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Or what we'll do, we could just like, cause you know Reggie's our film person.
I'm an artist.
He puts everything up for us together.
Artiste.
We'll just send it to you guys.
Jonas Wyo Samer Michael was raised in Seattle, Washington by his mother, who is African American, and his father, who is from the Northeast African country of Eritrea. He moved to Inglewood with his mother and sister in 1996.
I was like in 6th grade, and I was on punishment for some reason. Don't know what I did. I was locked in the house, and so my stepdad, he was all into like Rock Cam and KRS-One, Eric B, Eric Sermon, and all that. That day I was locked in my house, he had KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions Hardcore Live album on the table, so I just put it in my room, in my little tiny boombox, push play, and I tell this story all the time. Like, I feed off of people, and like the first thing I heard when I pushed play was the crowd just screaming at the top of their lungs, waiting for KRS to come to the stage, and so that shit just gave me chills. And then KRS-One started spinning the mic, and then the crowd was just reciting his lines, and just immediately, like, I just got chills, like, and I just got inspired, so I just picked up a pen right then and there, and just started writing. I mean, it had no format, it was just a bunch of words, but I always remember that moment, hearing just the crowd, and then KRS-One spinning to the mic, and then from there I got into like Mos Def, Black on Both Sides. That was the first album I ever bought, like with my own money.
As a kid, man, like, I always wanted to dance and be an entertainer like this dude. I had the curls, so I was like, Mommy, give me a Thriller jacket. I want to be Michael Jackson. Give me some loafers. I would always do the moonwalk
for any person I came across, especially in my grandma's house in the kitchen, I'm always busting the moonwalk. So as a kid, that was like the person I always looked up to and just always wanted to be on stage, because people in the crowd would just faint over dudes' moves. So I think that kind of like stuck with me, and it comes off to our shows when we perform. It's just being an entertainer.
YO to me is such a Casanova. Like, that's the word that would sum up YO. That dude, don't let that hipster vibe fool you. Don't let him, you know, with his creative style of dress fool you. Like, he's a Casanova. Anytime I go to one of their shows, it's YO in the corner with like 5 little ninja bitches surrounding him.
That dude's crazy, man. That dude's crazy. He's just crazy. I don't think people know how crazy he is. He's got such an incredible energy level. And an excitement, like that dude's excited. Like, I can tell that he's just excited for life, you know? I've never seen him pissed off. I think he's one ready to go do it. Like, he's gonna take life on, you know?
With his colorful clothing, basketball jerseys, and his trademark mohawk, YO is quickly establishing himself as a fashion icon.
Yo, that mohawk's out of control right now, dude. Like, it's starting to like kind of like palm tree out right now. Like, it's so long. It takes a person like YO who has like, you know, a very specific style to kind of like, I know there's a lot of people out there that be like, yo, that's like kind of fresh, but I don't know if I'd be down to rock something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or if people see certain things that are like maybe too bright or too tight, or they're used to like, you know, baggy clothes, or just like, you know, they're straight black tees or straight white tees. It takes someone that's like YO that, you know, doesn't really care, you know, and he's just doing what he does and just dressing the way he wants, and he'd be like, oh man, that's dope. Like, I can see myself rocking that. You gotta have like an image to portray yourself, or else like, you know, beyond the music, people want to see what you look like. People want to see like how you are on stage. Like, you can't be boring, you know what I mean? So personal style is all part of the flavor.
Romel Cabrera was born in Sun Valley, California. Growing up in such a multicultural area of Los Angeles had an effect on Ro's musical background.
I could, you know, back in the day, my influences would probably have to be everything that my dad bumped in his Jaguar. He had like Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, the Commodores. And then my first tape was Onyx Back the Fuck Up. But then my first CD was Bizarre Right to the Far Side. And then I went and bought Snoop Dogg's Dogg Style. And then when it came later down the line, the song that actually made me want to get into music and start making music was really Jay-Z's This Can't Be Life, that was produced by Kanye, off of the Rock Law Million. Yeah, because I was like, damn, like, this doesn't sound, it sounds like no other, you know? I know people used to sample back in the day, but not like that. When I started making music, my mother said, you know, she wanted me to do something else other than music. But, you know, I was hard-headed and I said I wanted to do it. And she was like, okay, here's some records. And the first record she gave me was the soundtrack to Boulevard Nights, a movie. And that movie was very inspirational. And so it just clicked, so it was just Ro Blvd.
He had brought up some beats, and it was an Al Green joint, because at Hot, it was the oldie station. And he was like, yo, check it out. And he had played it. I was like, oh, that's dope, dude. And just found out he was a producer. I thought he was talented, yeah. I thought it was crazy how he knew music, just to even mess with an Al Green record. But because he was so young, he was like 18 years old. You could see the dedication just by how he flipped up at that time, like his bedroom, you know what I mean? And turned it into his workplace, you know what I'm saying? It made sleeping not his priority of his room, but it was like, yo, this is what he was focused on doing.
Me and Ro like to play this game called How Much? And we pose these questions to each other for a monetary amount, like, for $50,000, would you let a crackhead spit in your mouth? And then we negotiate the terms. Like, he'll be like, for $50,000, I gotta count in the medical cost of that. I do it for $100,000 because I'd have to go to the doctor and I'd have to get tested and I'd have psychological harm that I might have to seek counseling for. So for $100,000 flat, crackhead can spit in my mouth right now. He's just crazy. Like, that's Ro Blvd.
Ro's got this mind, man. they're like, once it starts going, like, you just stand back and just listen. You know, I've seen him go on these rolls where these ideas start coming out that at first you're like, where is this dude getting this from? Like, what is he talking about? But he's got some crazy ideas. And my favorite thing that he ever told me is that he wants to be the Andy Warhol of music. And I was like, that's tight. That's such a tight goal. Like that's good, man.
It's the thin line between genius and insanity, and he walks it.
Ro aligned with a collective group of MCs, and they called themselves the Breakfast Club. The crew included Free Speech, Micah James, DJ Low Key, Nash, UB, Nameless, DJ Handprints, and Talk Sick.
We used to do stuff together, and then I would just keep on, I would stay in this room and just keep on pumping out, you know, freaking projects. First thing was Coffee and Donuts. That was just a remix tape I did. Me and Free Speech put out Laffy Taffy Roger Teeth, which was like an experimental concept project. And after that, I had songs stashed away for a thing called Early Morning, which is actually the album to Coffee and Donuts. Put that out, and then after that, I had more stuff, and then put out another project called the Breakfast Club EP. It was just all, you know, all the homies that that did music that was really pushing for it. And on top of that, Free Speech was blowing up pretty fast. He got his name out there, so it was just like a team effort to get all our names there. When Thurs and YO, when we got together and started doing Love Supreme, they started to say my name, you know, to say that I was doing, you know, they started to say that I was doing the whole project. I was producing the whole thing, and people wanted to know, oh, who's Ro, and then automatically just my stock kind of jumped up like pretty crazy. You know, I mean, I owe him a lot. I owe Thurs and YO a lot.
What's it like working with Ro?
That
motherfucker sucks.
It sucks. Oh, come on, man.
Honestly, I make the beats.
Come on, dog.
Nah, no, seriously, I love working with Ro. I told Thurs after launch, he was the illest producer in LA. I said that immediately. Not because he makes dope music. That's God-given. Everybody knows that. Like, but he does more than just make a beat. Okay, here's the beat. Go in there. Oh, that's dope. Okay, see you next week. He does more than that.
I'm telling you, like, I walked into the studio and this nigga was like the mad scientist, or like Flea or one of them little drummer casts or something. This nigga just motherfucking keyboard just shaking and shit. I'm like, damn, but the beat was sounding hard. I'm like, yeah. What's up? I need a beat. You know what I'm saying? Ro, holla at me. You know what I'm saying?
People don't understand that there's a difference between a beat maker and a producer. But Ro's, I mean, he's making the beats on the spot. You know, he's coming up with concepts of the song. He's, you know, coming up with hooks. You know, he's there for all the recording. He's telling people, you know, he's telling Thurs and YO, yo, let's try it like this, let's try it like that. You know, and then he's there for the mixing also.
He's always coming up with ideas, and we come up with ideas, and it just meshes. It's got a beautiful mesh.
I think it's nothing better than to have artists that are comfortable with making music with the producer. Because I've heard stories like with some artists, they have a producer, they feel they can't say certain things. I don't know why. That's because they're not comfortable. So with us being comfortable, whatever we say, I mean, he'll agree to it. He'll say something. Like, nobody's scared to take that extra step because we're all, you know, we all have this natural vibe with each other, and we not only hang out in the studio, he's like our brother. Like, outside of the studio, we party together, you know, mess with the girls.
The name is Ro Blvd. Basically black.
That's what, don't you look like the dude from Captain Hook?
Oh, dude, Rufio, dude, I tried that on all the girls. I'm like, yo, you know I'm Rufio, girl? God, shit didn't work, dude. Everyone loves Rufio, man. I want to be fucking the next Andy Warhol music in a Prince form, though, because Prince is still to this day pulling hoes, pulling bitches, and renaming them like it's a fucking file on his desktop. Let me just rename this file real quick. You know what I mean? I'm talking real belligerent right now. I didn't go college. Nothing. I didn't go college.
I didn't go to high school.
But I party.
I'm about to motherfucking party my 4 years that I should have went to college right now, one night.
One night.
Hey, you look good. You right there, right next. Yo, in the boots. You look good.
Damn.
Yo, them boots. Do it again. Do it
Yeah,
again.
check
Do
it
that
out.
again, baby. Hey, girl, you look
You know,
good.
everybody's a little too white, a little too fair skinned.
Oh, it's about to be. Oh, motherfucking ready, dog. Motherfucking ready. Shit. I'm about to spit his verse tonight. Watch this shit. Alright. Put your LA up in the air. That woman jumps in the seats and the stitch in my jeans. Rose Carolina, 500 like a quit. City gets champions, County, Angelinos, and before Papa John's and mosquitoes. Witnesses from Mexican, it was time to mingle. Written on Conway before I was single. High up here, Papa since Cali, y'all next. That's a make my arrival like a 757 man. Where's Ro Blvd at, man? Ro Blvd. Where's Ro? Where's Ro? That's there go Ro Blvd. What's up, Ro? How you feeling? Yeah. I love all you ladies. I'm trying to get some ass tonight. That's up there, Ro Blvd. He produced this record right here called Hollywood Hiatus. Let's go.
With the factors of music labels and traditional radio, the current state of Los Angeles hip-hop has witnessed dramatic changes over the years.
LA hip-hop is such an enigma. I mean, there's nothing like it in the rest of the world, especially when you throw radio into the picture. It's just, there's so much talent out here, and it's like there's not enough slots. And unfortunately, you know, and I hate to say this, being that I'm in LA radio, we don't support our artists enough.
I'm not looking for, damn, I gotta find a hit single, I gotta find something for radio. Well, you know, radio's gonna start to change too. You know what I mean? Radio, you know, LA radio sucks. You know how it goes. It's terrible.
It's hard out here for, you know, traditional West Coast rappers. It's hard right now. You really gotta be creative, you really gotta come out the box, and you really gotta think of new approaches on how to connect with your fans without radio.
I think it's dope, you know. I'm always a glass half full type of nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always on some, it's a real dope, you know, scene right now. It's a lot of tight cats out here, you know. I can start naming off cats and I'll be in here for like an hour naming tight cats that I think is dope.
I mean, the LA scene has been crazy for the last 3 years with all the new artists, producers, musicians. And because it's LA, there's so many creative people here doing film and art and music and everything. There's someone to meet and inspire you and collaborate with really anytime you walk down the street, you know.
You got like a strong culture that's out here, a rich culture, you know what I mean, of hip hop, gangster rap, like everything that's out here that's hot. You know what I mean? You got people that's really talking about things that they're going through, and people that really are a part of this culture and really have a lot to contribute.
LA is always being stereotyped as just straight gangbanging, you know, and rightfully so, because, you know, biggest names that have come out is obviously Dre, Snoop, you know, so just having that alternative is real dope, because, I mean, I don't want to listen to fucking, you know, gangbang shit all the time. You know, it's cool, but, you know, I'm a normal person.
Not everyone lives in, like, the hood, or not everyone drives, like, a lowrider, or, like, you know, wants to push, like, a Escalade on, like, 30s or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, regular people don't relate to that. Regular people relate to, like, everyday stuff, like, you know, whatever, like, you deal with on a day-to-day basis.
The LA scene has always been more diverse than people have given it credit for, you know, for being. You know, obviously, you know, as far as the, you know, we can go back to as far back as we want to go, but, you know, the gangster side of thing, or the street reality, however people want to call it, that's always had a strong presence here. That culture's always been big here, and, you know, 1580 K-Day was, you know, big on the street scene, so a lot of that music got out there. But it's very diverse out here, but it's more diverse than people give it credit for.
You got stuff like, you know, LA cats being New York transplants or Atlanta transplants, and kind of just tying in the influences together.
And the stuff that LA is doing now, like, it's definitely not the typical West Coast sound that you think of when you think of West Coast hip hop. you know. And now when I think about it, maybe it's just because I'm out here, I don't know what the rest of the country thinks, but like, I definitely don't think of Dr. Dre and Snoop only when I think of the West Coast, you know. It's definitely getting established more as like branching off from that, doing different stuff. There's a lot of groups who are doing more like, you know, kind of throwback, classic, reminiscent hip-hop, but with a new twist, like 2009 type of shit.
People are excited about rhyme now. It's not so much like, yo, you got the hit song, or you got the big hook, or you got, this nigga got Lil Wayne on it. It's not even about that shit. It's not about that. It's about, yo, are you dope? Let's do something.
It's so many tight cats out here, to go back to that point, that you could create your own scene and bring it up again. You know, that's what grassroots and stuff like that is supposed to be about.
The music out here is hot. Like, people just have to catch on to it and really see like what's going on, and really go out to the shows. I think that's what really lacks, is people really getting out to see what's going on and see like the culture that's happening, and see the people that these cats bring out, and the energy that they put out, and the reception that they get.
And that's the thing, you gotta have energy up out here. You know, you can't just come, because cats ain't gonna be feeling you. Cats are just gonna stare at you, or they gonna walk and go get their drink that they was trying to get before. You know what I'm saying?
I love the way that a lot of this new generation is coming on, because they represent themselves, no matter what that is. You know what I mean? And they true to it. You know, it's not nothing fake and phony. They're not trying to be anything else. They're not trying to represent anything else. Like, they have their own individuality, and they talking about real things that people can relate to. Because it's like a lot of times when, you know, you have certain cats that's brought up and you ask, you know, just like the mainstream consumer what they think about it, they'll give you their honest opinion. They'll either say, I don't like it because they don't talk about anything I can relate to, or vice versa. I love them because I understand everything that they're talking about. The sound is getting back to that golden era, that golden hip hop, when records was coming out and it was just about the feeling. You know what I mean? And really saying something in your records, not just solely concentrating on coming up with the pop record. I think the difference between the new generation now, not in comparison to the old generation, but the new generation now to other generations, is the artist development that's coming back around. How cats is really getting out there and touching the people and really allowing people to see themselves.
As of 2009, I think it's better than ever, you know? I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's bigger than ever. So there's more good than ever in West Coast, in LA in particular, in hip hop in general. There's more, but there's also more nonsense than ever, you know, because there's more access to be able to do it. The internet means everybody can get their voice out. You know, home studios means everybody can record, you know, which makes a lot of people that should have been heard maybe before, or types of people now able to be heard. And now a lot of people that maybe have just a little more money to throw around, or related to somebody, or whatever the case might be, you know, they can just get out there and put something out. And, it, you know, so you have to filter through it and find a lot more. You have to filter through a lot more to find what you want. But ultimately, there's more good than ever out here, I think. More skills. Skill level is very high. Even in the traditionally, you know, you had like the gangster side was like, oh, they spit hardcore stuff, but they can't really rhyme. But, you know, I mean, you know, gangster cats out here can rhyme too now. You know what I mean? Like, they can really spit too. You know, just like in New York or other places where the street cats might have been the hood cats too. Like out here, like the cats that had the skills were like, oh, y'all are backpackers. Y'all do all that crazy, you know, we just tell these ill stories. You know, like, nah, these cats can spit now too. So it's serious across the board out here, I think.
With all of these factors in place, UNI and Ro Blvd focused on making a project that sounded like nothing else that had come out of Los Angeles.
That one's tight, man. I wish I was on it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dang, I wish I was a part of that project. You know what I mean? I remember when I asked, I was like, and they told me, it's like, yeah, we coming out with this thing with Ro Blvd, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have a beat on that. And it was just like, yeah, everything is gonna be produced by Ro, and I was like, crap, that hurt.
Most of those songs, we came up with those songs, the concepts together. Yeah. Off a conversation. Like, he'll say something, and I'm like, yo, say that again? He'll say a simple word, whatever it may be, then I'll say something. And he's like, yo, we'll just mesh them together, and we'll just all work together. Like, it's like, this is UNI, like, he's the third artist. So, I mean, he does, like I'm saying, he does more than just having artists just go in the studio and then be done. And then after that, we'll have like another hour conversation, and then he may get inspired from what we say, and he'll just make the beat. Yeah. So that's why I say he's like one of the illest producers out here, because he does more than make the beat.
I learned a lot of shit from Ro, honestly, because I mean, Ro went to school for engineering also, so I mean, he knows what he's been doing, and he's probably been doing this a lot longer than I have. You know, I'm just more technical, you know, and he's more the creative. So we complement each other really well with the mixing, but he's really good at expressing emotions in his songs. And honestly, like, if Ro wanted to, like, he could score movies. Like, that's how good Ro is at making music. I mean, I honestly think he could sell all these instrumentals to, you know, like music supervisors around Hollywood, and, you know, they would just place it in the movie.
I haven't worked with anybody that's put as much thought and effort into their music as they do. First thing when they enter the studio, it's like all fun and games, you know. Everybody gets comfortable, we fuck around, talk shit to each other. But then when it's, you know, Y.O. doesn't write anything down when he does his verses. He does it all in his head. And Thurs, he'll come in and he'll have a 16 written, if not, you know, he writes all the stuff on the BlackBerry, goes in there and gets it done.
The first time I ever listened to Fried Chicken and Watermelon, I'm picturing Thurs as like this dude that's like 6'5", like 300 pounds, you know? So, you know, he just has this real, like, powerful voice.
How it was working is we were in here recording a song. I'd be here running Pro Tools, running the compressors on the board, and it goes straight across the hall to Glenn, who just mixes it down right there on the spot. It's an assembly line. We start here, we get the idea going, we lay the verses down, bam, send it across the hall over to Glenn. He mixes it down.
And working with these guys, it's like, it made me set my game up like big time. You know?
Likewise, man.
Yeah, it made me set my game up big time. You know, they made me like, you know, way better than what I was, you know, where I was before. You know, I would be scared to play keys. You know, I would be scared to play because I was always nitpicking, like, damn, if a real musician heard this shit, they would say, oh yeah, he played that off. You know, his positioning is kind of off. But with them, they're like, you know what, fuck it. You know, Y.O. was, you know, Y on Thurs has been a big influence of just fuck what other people think. Let's just do what what can be done. I mean, I damn near had fucking Thurs start kind of singing on a track on the background on Laura London, sort of, and then Y.O. did the same thing, and that just proves to me like, shit, we could do anything. So they definitely influenced me, man. Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at or my sound, as far as my sound, if it wasn't for them. Or I mold what I do as far as production wise, you know, kind of from Thurs, because Thurs straight up sit there and nitpick shit. Like nitpick, like, yo, dog, you know, I don't know about that, you know, the echo effect, yo, yeah, all right, you know, I don't know, yeah. But you know what though, it's like that shit right there, you know, makes me who I am.
You guys have you guys know what you want, what you're about. Like, some artists are still trying to find exactly, but if we just sat there and did the show, and then you guys, well, we have this song, and then we got this other one, and then just let's play them. Like, step your game up. Here it is. This is what you need to hear. This is what you need to. This is where you need to be at. Work at it.
Bro, you should name 4 songs off the album that you think she would play. 4 hot ones off the album that you would.
Yeah.
2, right? And obviously,
we can kick it off with
as the number 1.
We'll start off with that one because I've already played it a few times and people already know. Well, we're just about to show you what new upcoming artists need to be doing right now.
Oh, that would be
the
crazy.
lack of sleep, whatever it is, you know.
That would be crazy.
I think that would be cool for the show. I'm always trying to think of new things for the show.
We could probably do, like you just said, you're saying like artists, like you guys are sleeping right now. This is what you guys should be doing. We should even just talk about our grind, like how we got down to actually get to that level.
Because we have the artist and then we have you, the producer.
That would be crazy.
You should talk about those SAE sessions.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the sessions, how like we actually literally stayed in the studio for like a week.
It didn't come out?
Like more, I'm sorry, not a week, but like more than a month. Like Chris took like 2 weeks off of work, like a month, and just made sure we stayed there. Like we stayed in the studio. We were like, okay, it's 6 o'clock, we gotta go to our jobs. Go to our jobs, after our jobs, go back to the studio.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
no sleep.
No sleep.
Get a
Like,
case of this, coffee
seriously,
that,
for
whatever
real.
dumb, whatever you
But
need.
yeah, the thing about it is like we just had fun. I think we had
Well,
fun
that's
about it.
good
Yeah.
because it sounds like it. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like pressured work.
I think that was our key.
Nobody in this whole circle really has like big egos where they're like, nah, man, I'm fucking bigger than that. I'm just gonna come in, you know, lay my vocals and fucking, you know, go get some food, you know? So.
I've never experienced anything like this before because I've only been in engineering for 2 years. And before that, I didn't know a whole lot about music. I just always had an ear for it. But to be behind the scenes, like, you know, it's crazy.
They connected with the prominent DJ duo Mick Boogie and Terry Urban to release a project that would be released shortly before the release of A Love Supreme. It was called the Before There Was Love mixtape. The project featured a mixture of veteran rappers and some up-and-coming artists as well. Everybody involved with the project was from each corner of the United States.
We might as well give him a shout out right now because he always is on the cutting edge of fucking music. It's this kid in Cleveland that we randomly know. His name's Scotty Cash, and he's friends with you and I. And yeah, and he's the one that put me onto it, dude.
Okay.
He's the one, and he put me onto Cream, the song with where they're talking about the shoes and shit.
Yeah,
That
and
song.
Terry told me about it, but like I told the guys, I don't listen to shit. Like it's so much fucking music, I don't listen to it. Like it's like overkill, and I shut my brain off. And then I came back around somehow, and I heard "Beautiful Day," and I was just like, "Yo, this shit is just fucking amazing." And I would just everything I love about like hip hop was like that in that song. It was like positive and happy, and like, you know, but still. Everybody could appreciate it, whether you're old, young, whatever. And so I forget how I got in touch with you guys.
I gotta cut in real quick. I'm the first you can put this down in paper, my friends. I'm the first motherfucker to play Cream on radio, commercial radio,
Oh, you
my
played it on
friend.
commercial
Hell
radio,
yeah, I
dude?
played that shit constantly. I had him give me a clean. I would play that every weekend, that song, because I loved it so fucking much. So when you and I get
and I didn't even know any of this, so whatever. But
anyways, we've been long-time supporters. So
then we got in touch with them. Actually, I think I got in touch with them when we did the Hip Hop Honors mixtape, and I forget how I got in touch with them, but I did. And we just got cool over email. And then I was out here in December doing something for the Grammy nomination event, and I told him I was coming out. And Thursday, and Chris picked me up, and we went had free dinner at McCormick and Schmick's. It's actually immortalized on the tape. It's on a skit, and we've been cool ever since. I can't even really take any credit for the mixtape except for I put my drops on it and did the skits. Because like a lot of the times when we do mixtapes, if it's something we really care about, we like go in, send them beats, do this, do that, change this stuff, let's do this. These guys, they sent me fucking 25 songs, and
yeah, normally we're pressing people for the song.
yeah, we're like normally change this, I don't like this. Nah, this shit was just like, yo, done deal.
That mixtape, you know, to sit in the other sessions on when you guys are on other people's beats, and just the mixtape and songs in general. When I sit there with Glenn, our engineer, it's like it's all skill.
And I did Cali so like I'll track everything out, so I'll track them drums out, and there'll be like a wave like this for Cali so, and then the sample by itself, and like 24 bars, and then put my slice planks, and then dump it in there, and then I'm able to like lay it on here, and then it sounds like it was straight from the MP, but I could boost it up with compressors. Then when it's also chopped up like this. The actual beat, how it was in the MP, is chopped up, but you can lay it in there where it sounds perfect, but when you hit the keyboard, it sounds chopped up. So you could flip a whole new pattern out of that, and that's how that second half of the Cali Soul came about.
They're doing their moves, and making their moves, doing their scene, and putting out like videos and shit like that. I'm paying attention. I'm like, yo, these niggas is dope. And I'm like, and I know them from the studio. You know what I mean? So, Twitter is the greatest thing ever created. And I'm addicted, but Thursday is on Twitter, and I hit him up like, yo, you niggas is nice, bottom line, that's it. He was like, yo, let's do whatever. I say no more, hit me, whatever. Don't ever, you know what I mean? Like, if y'all already dope, that's the easy part. Like, y'all dope. He was like, yo, let's get on track, whatever. was nothing. The man hit me up literally like the next day, like, yo, we got studio at 1 in the morning. Like 1 a.m., which I never heard of. Going to the studio at 1 is weird. I be in the studio all morning, you know, to the next day, cool. You know, but going there at 1 is a lot, especially if you're not in the studio. Whatever. But I was like, man, whatever. Fuck it. You know, I'm there. You know what I mean?
We're recording?
Yes, we are recording.
We are you and I, 1.5 Thursday.
YO, and I hate when you do that. Why don't you just say my name for me?
YO, motherfucking shit. And we here with Cook Classics. Make a motherfucking classic, bitch.
Damn, this is cool, bro.
People's gonna be like, damn, they do this, they do that, and they do reggae. This is gonna be a good look, man. Just trying to show all our talent, all our gifts over music, over different tracks, so, you know.
I had this crazy idea. I was sitting at home one day and I was thinking about that Estelle record, that American Boy with Kanye. And I was sitting on the couch and I was just singing it in my head like, I really want to come kick it with you. And I was just singing like random parts to it. I know that, I mean, that may not be the most masculine thing on the planet, but that record is just hot. And so then like I came across that part, take me on a trip, I want to see LA. And then like I just stopped. And it was like a little flashlight, literally was like right here. It said ding. And I was like, man, if I did a record called CLA, I think I called Thursday and YO, I sent him a text. Like, yo, I got a record that's gonna blow a lot of people out the water. Like, it's gonna be crazy. And I was like, all right. And when they heard it, it was like, as soon as they heard it, they couldn't stop singing it. Like, it was just like stuck in people's head. Like, and I was just like, that's when I knew. I was like, yo, this is something major. But I think they did an excellent job of illustrating their part of LA. You know what I mean? Naming all the hot spots and, you know, it's kind of giving LA like a new light.
So who are the two you and I performers? The two. No,
they need like 20 other guest lists. Like 20.
I got this. Who are the
for real,
two?
just don't give him a hard time.
You and him?
Let him in.
So y'all two.
Hey, don't tell me to shut up. I'll put a criminal right here at the bottom. We don't give a fuck. I'll tell you that right now. Hey, don't give you and I a hard problem.
This is
Hey, don't give you and I a hard problem. Let them in this bitch. Hey, they're the headliners. Let them in. Hey,
we were told we was gonna go on at between 11:30 and 12. It was freaking 12:15. but there was a little miscommunication that we had to wait 2 more acts. And basically me and Curtains and Thursday and Chris said, fuck that. We're sticking to what you told us. So we bum rushed the shit. I saw Chris loudmouthing somebody like, yo, no, my boys are going on now, blah, blah, blah. Curtains had to be at the show at 12:30, and it was 12:15. So we had to shut it down in 15 minutes. We got the word to Jesse's assistant, just grabbed the mic. Theo set up in 5 minutes, threw that shit on, and we got done in less than 15 minutes. We don't take shit from nobody.
To my haters, this is the track, yes, some bitches, sorry, I'm a regular. This is spit like Moses to me. I'm a beat it to the blue, and I know it ain't fair. This home's in his mom is like, this nigga right here is shooting rounds with you bulletproof vest. This shit is cat warriors and it make it go shit. Homes welcome like your man. Before there was love, there was hood rats. Now it's Mars to a hi-hat. Yes! Spinning from the draw, think a sharp attack. I'm a beast. Stand the left. Mayon getting laid on the back, so you really know what's up. This the end of the talent show. Since you went on your side, the curtain is closed.
The first single off the project was Hollywood Hiatus, a creative sample of the New Edition classic song, Cool It Now.
When I was working, he called me up when he had the Hollywood Hiatus beat. I'm at my desk and he's just blasting the Hollywood Hiatus beat over the phone. I'm just like ducking in my cubicle trying to hear it.
I always wanted to do something with Cool It Now, because Cool It Now is like heavy with, heavy with drums, synths. There's a lot of parts where, they're basically all over the track where there's not that much air to take something off, take something from, or to filter out something. And there was one break that was just, it was kind of open, heavy with drums on it. The 80s drums were like so fucking hollow. All that shit. Fucking, you can cut that out. That was actually pretty stupid. I said that. But it was the synth part that kind of, it was dope. It was after one of their, it was after like the second hook or breakdown or whatever it is. I just highlighted that shit and just kept on hearing it over and over. And it was pretty fast and shit. Let me hear it backwards. That's how I heard it backwards. And he made this dope ass synth. But it didn't sound like that. When you reverse it, like anybody who has that shit, you could put it on your Serato and reverse that part, or put on the Pro Tools or Cool Edit and reverse it, and it doesn't sound like how I did it. Because after I heard it, it just didn't sound right still. So all I did was I chopped it up.
Oh, I love the way you cool it down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he told me what you did. You reversed it.
We reversed it and then chopped it up from there.
Oh,
and put it all together so it makes that sound.
Slow it down, down, down,
I said it.
I played that today, like, oh, they're coming.
They better cool it now. Got more reason to act foolish now. The broadest like we gon' do this now. Sissy just wanna taste my style. Here goes Jonas, Yannick, rolled and hurt with fly girls on the hip like a phone at church. We that popular. Fake posers tryna copy us. No time for hate, B for that LOL, SMH at the fake, send smiley face to the girl named Susie, and the BFF with ass like a movie, watch it.
On March 31st, A Love Supreme was released exclusively through the website yothurs.com. The site immediately crashed after from the heavy web traffic. It would be days before the site would work properly. At the time of production of this movie, the album had received over 75,000 downloads. The reception of the project was overwhelmingly positive. BET named them one of the top new artists of 2009. OK Player referred to it as being a profoundly human album that embraces every aspect of the emotional spectrum. XXL gave the album an XL rating, one notch lower than a perfect album.
The feeling I have right now is just truly amazing, just to see from when we first started in this little den off of Crenshaw and 80th, recording to like 3 o'clock in the morning with no job, sleep on the couch, wake up, record it again, go home. My mom's just cursing at me like, you're doing this, but you're not making no money. I'm like, yeah, I understand. It's dumb, right? But I just love it. And she still supported it, but I finally got myself a job. But just from remembering those days and then getting our video on MTV with no deal, I mean, I thank God every day of my life when I wake up just thanking Him from where I'm at right now, musically and just as a person. Because, I mean, there's no other group that has done what that we're doing right now. We're independent, man. It's just minds working together. People nowadays have like people in their circle that are a bunch of yes men and they're just getting in their ears, so it's a bunch of he say, she say. Now I'm thankful to have like a tight circle with Thurs and Ro and just people outside of us, because it's all positive people. And if we say something or do something out of line, they'll pull us to the side and be like, yo, you don't need to do that. Like, if I do something Thursday, I know what you're doing. And vice versa, if he does something, I call him out. And I think that's what makes our team so strong.
Dude, I can't ask for anything more, because like, every time, I go to a show, or just, when we're around, people who just love hip hop, I meet, new people every day. When it, every time when it comes to like, just people who listen to music or people who make music, always say, yo, yeah, we gotta get in the studio and let's work. I'm all for it. And to get that now, it's a great feeling, but also it's it motivates me a lot. Damn, I want to be having the Pope saying I like the music. I want, so if I could touch numerous amount of people with just music, then shit, it gets me motivated. Like, fuck it, I'm trying to go to the top now.
To see how far them cats have came from just playing it like, yeah, we gonna do this group, to where they are now, you can't help but be like, yeah, you gotta get props to that.
If this isn't a perfect combination, I don't know what is. Like, I don't know, I haven't been in the studio when both of them is in there, when he's cooking up a beat and them writing. I don't know how the vibe is. But when I'm listening to the music, I feel like I'm right there. Like, you can feel the emotion. Like, you can feel like the passion that's behind it.
I haven't heard all the Love Supreme, but I've heard a bunch of it. And that's just on some completely other shit too. Like, I was telling YO last weekend when I saw him, I was like, man, that shit's gonna change your guys' careers, man, because that's really on some other different new dope music, And Ro Blvd is, I've never met the guy, but he's fucking killing the production on that. So I can't wait for that shit to come out, for real.
Listening to the records, it's like, it's not like they just spit. Like, it's really like stories that they telling, about themselves, and they really saying something that's like, that means something. And it's like they really painting a picture. It's like they making a movie with that. You know what I mean? Like you just get lost for words just trying to explain it like that.
All three of these people are just some of the most creative, amazing people I've ever met. So I definitely think everyone should support everything that they do. I don't care what it is that they do. Like, even if it's not music, they open up a car wash, support that shit, because these are good people.
My mama told me that I could be the president, but I think more like a terrorist. Words strapped to my chest at all times. Any given moment I explode in rhyme. Taking no prisoners. You or your next of kin. Walk life in the name of hip-hop to win. My teacher said be your FA, your financial advisor. 3-piece suit attire and watch the Bloomberg. I'd rather invest in desire to inspire than manage your mutual fund. I could have been that dude on the block with a rock and a gun and made quick money like the OG Bloods do. G's in the week, in a year like you do. I chose to be authentic, run with the crew. The world is yours, it's up to you. Choices.
They can tell you who you can be.
You know one day you gon' be a star. Whoa.
They can tell you who you can be.
You know one day you gon' be a star. Whoa. It's a love supreme. He said life's a bitch, man, I can't agree. The reason being, you give the same type of love to every girl that you sex every week. Please, come on, man. My life's a queen. Treat it like a movie, never wasting a scene. I mean, yeah, I'm broke though, like poor people. Still managed to shine with no vehicle. And with the bird she tests, but I was always told another no, a step closer to yes. So I guess I'll ignore them bars. Continue to make magic with the Ro Blvd. My life's at an all-time high. Please, Lord, give me more, cause it feels so good. It feels good. It feels good.
Got a beat crew called OG coming soon. Why is it called OG? Similar to orgy, but the music is gonna make the dudes get sex. That's all it is, plain and simple. OG. Who's behind it? Myself, Thursday, and my man Jeff. That's the secret right there. OG coming soon.
Wait.
No kicks on the feet. It's hammer time. Couple drinks at the bar. It's hammer time. Money to the sky. It's hammer time. When you say you and I. It's hammer time. Sex with 3. It's hammer time. A love supreme. It's hammer time. What time is it? It's hammer time. New kicks on the feet. It's hammer time. Couple drinks at the bar. It's hammer time. Money to the sky. It's hammer time. When you say you and I. It's hammer time. Sex with 3. It's hammer time. A love supreme. It's hammer time. What time is it? It's hammer time.
Let me tell you, me and Ro used to be married. Romel. Me and Ro used to have this thing. We eloped in Vegas, didn't work out. We ended up having some kids. I don't know where they're at, but we kind of have this whole love, hate, in love, out of love type of thing that we're going on right now. And I just want Ro to love me. I just want him to get over Marilyn Monroe and Britney Spears and come home.
New kicks on the feet. It's hammer time. Couple drinks at the bar. It's hammer time. Money to the sky. It's hammer time. When you say you and I. It's hammer time. Sex with 3. It's hammer time. A love supreme. It's hammer time. What time is it? It's hammer time. New kicks on the feet. It's hammer time. Couple drinks at the bar. It's hammer time. Money to the sky. It's hammer time. When you say you and I. It's hammer time. Sex with 3. It's hammer time. A love supreme. It's hammer time. What time is it? It's hammer time.
Now do you want it? Do you feel it? Now do you want it? Now do you feel it? Now do you want it? Do you feel it? You and oh, you and I and Ro. You and I and Ro. You and I and Ro.
New kicks on the feet. It's hammer time. Couple drinks at the bar. It's hammer time. Money to the sky. It's hammer time. When you say you and I. It's hammer time. Sex with 3. It's hammer time. A love supreme. It's hammer time. What time is it? It's hammer time. New kicks on the feet. It's hammer time. Couple drinks at the bar. It's hammer time. Money to the sky. It's hammer time. When you say you and I. It's hammer time. Sex with 3. It's hammer time. A love supreme. It's hammer time. What time is it? It's hammer time.